Today, I want to talk about what I consider actually a mystical experience, something that's out of this world. What happened, if somebody tells me that, I would think they're hallucinating. But since I am the one doing it, I do not want to think that I'm hallucinating because it was real and I was wide awake, when this happened. I had a fire in a hotel. I was living actually in a hotel in Atlantic City, and the whole hotel was on fire. And my room, of course, like it was on fire. I wake up like very hot, and cannot breathe. And I look above me, and it's all like dark cloud above my face, like maybe just 1 inch or 2 inches from my face. The whole room is black smoke. I looked at the wall, it's glowing with that red, of the fire, but no actual fire, but it was red. And then, of course, like I realized what happened and I tried to run away, like went to the door, and the minute I opened the door, the fire blew up all the whole room, like came like and burned my hair. Even my car was in front of the hotel motel, and my car was burned too from the fire that came out of that room. So I really was saved, I don't know how, but it's not really what I want to talk about. But this is like the introduction, how it started. So they moved us to another hotel while they took like maybe 8 hours to put the fire down. They took us to another hotel close by, and they gave me a room there. Of course, I lost everything. My IDs, driver license, passport, money, whatever, pictures, history. I lost everything. And it's like nothing of my history remained, with me, except for me and my body, which I'll talk about later. So I really went to the bathroom in the hotel, and I looked at my face, and my hair, which is burned, and my face, like with the trauma, like what happened and what I saw, so I started crying, really, started crying, and I said, why God you doing this to me? You keep doing this to me. Why don't you change me? So I was saying this and crying, and suddenly there is like that voice in the room. Actually, it made like maybe the whole room vibrate, with the sound. So it's not really from inside of my head, but like from the outside, somebody reading, for me, filling the room with ayah from the Quran, with his voice. It's like he's something like that voice. Really, I cannot forget how he said, how he read the Quran, beautifully. And so to make it short, I felt like that voice is coming from behind me. Somebody was behind me and said this in very low tone, like I cannot even get close to his voice, where he said, لا يغير الله ما بقوم حتى يغيروا ما بأنفسهم, which means in English, God does not change what's in people or whatever problems or something like doesn't change what's in people, they have to start the change. They have to change themselves, or until they change themselves. So that's kind of like the translation. This is how it say so God does not change until we change ourselves. This is what God says in the Quran. And I know this ayah all my life, but it never clicked. But when that voice was very loud, which really filled the room, and we are in America, it's not an Arab country to read like a verse from the Quran, and the verse I needed actually. And so that was like really very, very mysterious. I looked behind me, like at the ceiling where this voice coming from. There is nothing really. I am lonely in the room. There is nobody, I'm closed. The door is closed. This really caused me to start really like on self-search path. How can I change myself? Before that, I didn't believe that I can change myself. Like whatever problems I have, I thought God created me this way. I cannot change. So that was my motto. Like this is how I am. Like I cannot change that. But like when I see this, what God says, like about us changing ourselves. Like of course, like to the better and better. So started like that journey of really trying to change. So I started every day to read in the Quran and find the ayahs, write them down, which help us evolve, become better, and Quran is full of these things. So I really read the whole thing, the whole Quran, and wrote a lot of things I still have really from these ayahs, and I started to follow some of this. It's not like religious, like prayer and stuff and fast. It's not like that. It's not what you do, how to be kind, how to get close to God, how like all these things, God talk about. So that was really, I would say, a very mystical experience. That voice I heard, I cannot forget all my life, really. And it was actual, somebody reading it aloud from behind me, not in my head, but from behind me. I felt the vibration, like it's like, oh, what's that. So this is what I wanted to talk about today, and probably next time I'll talk about something else very interesting too.